I went to the cinema completely alone for the first time in my life on Saturday. And I went to see the new Christopher Nolan movie. No friends, no date, no reason. Except that I wanted to be with myself. And I'm going to be honest with you. What I work out with wasn't about the movie at all. It was one realization that's been sitting in my head ever since. And by the end of this video, I'll tell you exactly what it was. Because here's the thing. I am in my 30s and I have never done this one people before. Something most people do without ever thinking about it. And the fact that I've never done it says more about me than I want it to admit. So stay with me, because this small stupid little experiment taught me more about my own life than I've expected. And there's one scene in this movie that's basically slapped me in the face. And I'll get into it. So let me set the scene. I decided I was going to see The Odyssey, the new Christopher Nolan movie. And I decided I was going alone. And I was doing it on purpose. Not because I couldn't find anyone, but because I realized I spent my whole life avoiding this exact situation. Being alone in the public. Sitting somewhere by myself where people could see me alone. And if you really think about it, that fear is ridiculous. That's real. A lot of us carry it. We don't do things we actually want to do just because we have to do it by ourselves. So I told myself, enough. I will go to the cinema alone and see how it feels. I walked in, I found my seat, and the room was almost full. And there's one thing. There was three little kids, don't know why, but they have done it on purpose. They decided to sit with me and push me aside. Little teens, let's say it. But here's the strange part. I sat down, and for the first time in my life in a long time, there was absolutely no one to bother me, no one to talk to, and no one whose energy I had to match. No one I had to perform for. It was just me, a big dark room, and my own thoughts. And I want you to understand that silence wasn't lonely. It was the opposite. I found peace. And that's when it hit me. I look around the room and I realized nobody cared. Nobody cared that I was alone. Nobody looked at me twice. Those little teens didn't care. And there was more than 100 people in that room. And no single one of them would have thought about me for 1 second. I used to think it was a dead thing. But sitting here, I understood it's actually the most thrilling thing in the world. Because we spend so much life worrying about what other people think of us. We don't go to places, we don't try things, we don't take the chances when it happens. All because we are scared of other people thinking. And the truth is brutal, but beautiful. People see once and then they go right back to their own life. Everyone in that room was inside their own head or was looking at the movie. They were living in their own mind. Maybe they were also thinking about their own problems, but
Nice set of pipes you got
me being
there,
alone,
old man.
I feel completely invisible to them. Once you really feel that, not just understand it, but feel it, something comes off
Courtesy
you,
of me and my entry
because it
fee,
means
no
that you
doubt.
can freely do whatever you want
Met my daughter for the
and nobody
first
cared.
time in 10 years. We dined at a fancy restaurant. One of those
But
that
I
are
would like to
impossible
make
get a reservation for.
a little comment
And then
about the
after,
movie itself,
karaoke.
Who
because
got you the reservation?
it actually matters.
The association took care of
Because
it,
the
of course.
Odyssey is based
Fuck.
on an old
My
Greek
entry
story
fee.
written by Homer.
What's
It follows
important is not the
Odysseus,
fact the reservations
which
are
is
hard to get.
played by Matt
In
Damon,
fact, no one gets
in that movie.
reservations. The words reservations
And on
only
his long
apply
journey,
only to those outside of the
Nolan
circle.
being Nolan,
It's getting into that circle.
the timeline wasn't
And the food.
straightforward.
Good?
It jumped forward and backwards, and
Unfortunately,
everything
the atmosphere was a
falls
facade. Not once
on
was
it
my own daughter
by
let me
themselves.
die. Oh, the food.
It's an interesting movie. I recommend you to see it.
You're a junkie for blood, old man.
But the movie wasn't the most important part of that night.
There's only one
But
way to live.
there's one scene
People like
in
us,
that
we're sharks
movie
attracted to blood. You
that
smell
truly
blood too, didn't you?
connect
Isn't that why you're
exactly what I was already feeling
You
in
got
that
it, old man. And
room.
for some reason, I feel this sense of euphoria.
There was one scene in that movie.
here? Don't die on me too quickly. I
The
wanna
scene
gorge
was
myself on this
at the
sense
moment
of
you will see Odysseus.
vomit.
It's about to set off to the sea alone
Man,
on a
this
boat
is what
that
I
he
live
built
for. Fighting your own
with his
kind.
own two hands.
Nothing's more gratifying.
And that was the nymph
See you on the other
Calypso,
side.
played by Charlize Theron. That is something that stopped me cool. She was basically telling him, stop trying to control everything and let the god choose. Let me tell you again. Let the god choose. And I just sat there because that's me. That me basically. Because we try to control every single thing in our lives, every outcome, every plan, every detail. We grip the wheel so tight that we forget the road it's going to do what it's going to do. And I started thinking about how much my life I spent trying to control things that was never under my control, and how many nights I lost planning things that never happened to me the way that I have planned. How much peace I've traded away for the illusion that if I just think hard enough, very hard enough, put my tight grip enough, I can force my life to go the way that I want to go. But sometimes you have to do the opposite. Sometimes you have to build the boat, you push into the water, and then you let it go. You let life flow. Let nature do its work. And here what I've started to believe, sometimes when you stop forcing things actually work out in your favor. Not always, but more often than you think. That's what a real peace in my mind. Not controlling everything. It's being okay with not controlling everything. And that's bring me to the biggest thing. I walk out of that movie. The thing that I promised you at the start. Sitting in the dark room, I had this uncomfortable thought. In my 30s, I've done half the thing I wanted to do with my life. Not because I couldn't, but because I kept waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to do it with me. waiting to be ready. And going to the cinema by myself,
Don't kid yourself.
this
Playtime.
tiny, almost
over.
meaningless thing showed me the truth. I've been living like an NPC all my life. You know what I mean? Be an NPC. Just going through the motion, reacting, never choosing.
Next song I
But
sing, I know my
on Saturday, I decided I'm done with that. Because if I couldn't go to a movie alone
rap with me.
without making it a whole thing in my head, what else I've been avoiding all my life?
It's open mic night in hell, old man. Sing all you want down
What
there.
else I've been telling myself? I'll do it one day. And the lesson that I took from that night is actually two things. First is peace. If you let go the control, you build your boat, you push it in the water, and you should trust the flow of the waves a bit more.
Congratulations.
The second
You are now ranked
is
number
the
9.
opposite energy.
What you expect?
You should stop
Wait a
waiting.
minute. Are you getting a little sentimental?
Just
Still green,
try
aren't
things.
You know this is only
Try
the
it.
beginning.
Act.
Call me when the next one's arranged.
Take action.
Game
Go to the movie alone. Take the trip alone. Start the thing alone. Because nobody is watching closely as you think. And nobody is coming to help you. If you can let go the control and still try to put control on everything that you do, those are an opposite. That's just living. So yeah, I went to the cinema completely alone for the first time in my life. A movie I didn't even wanted to see, but I decided to do it, man. I go see that movie. And throughout that movie, it gave me peace. Also, that scene gave me a slap in my face and remind me that I need to stop waiting to start, to act, to start living. And honestly,
Congratulations, Mr. Touchdown.
that's exactly
Your
what I've
registration for
done
the 9th
for the first time in my
rank
life.
is now complete. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
If you ever be scared to do
In
something
addition,
alone,
we have faxed you some information about the rankings in case you wish to
comment
continue your
on this
study.
video.
As a
Maybe
friendly
I will give you an
reminder,
advice.
there will be a small nominal fee to participate
And
in ranked
if
fights.
you also went to
Thank you
the
for your
cinema alone,
understanding, and have a nice day.
also put a comment. I would like to see that there are people like me out there that have done it. And if you like my video, please subscribe, because I'm going to do other videos that will, I hope, help other people just like me.